In this edition of Coming Soon from PMDG, we got the goods, we got the bad, and there's a little bit of ugly in here for Xbox users, but have no fear, we'll explain it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's Robert Randazzo coming to you from the corner of the office here at PMDG HQ. It's a little after 1:30 in the morning, PMDG Daylight Standard Time. It's kind of my normal working time of day, so not that big of a deal, but it has been a huge day here at PMDG. There's been a lot of stuff going on. To give you an idea, today we released 9 product updates, 4 new products across 2 different simulation platforms using 3 different distribution mechanisms. So there has been a huge amount of stuff going on as we rolled throughout the day today. So first, let's talk about the updates. All PMDG 777 users got updated to build 116 today. If you are a PMDG.com customer, you get those through the PMDG Operations Center. Simply run that, click on the update, you'll be good to go. If you're a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Marketplace user, run the sim, go into Marketplace, you'll see the update available for you. If you are a 2024 Marketplace user, today's a great day because you finally got access to all of your 777s via the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace. If you have not yet made a 777 purchase, they're available for you to buy now. We thank you in advance. If you purchased your 777s in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and you've been waiting for them to appear in Marketplace 2024, yay, they're here. Go get them. If you are a Microsoft Marketplace 2024 user, you might have noticed by now that there are no livery packs yet available for your 777s in Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace 2024. I want to explain why that is, but before I do, I want to point out that all of this information that I'm about to regurgitate, A, it's very confusing, and B, it doesn't really apply to the vast majority of our customers. If you're a PMDG.com customer, none of this applies to you. If you are a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 user, this doesn't apply to you. If you are a Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace 24 user and you're on a PC, the way to get around this little problem I'm about to describe is simply to install the Operations Center 3.0 and install your liveries directly from us. Not the way it was originally designed, but it works. It's all good. If you are an Xbox user, we've got some problems we're trying to solve for you. Let me explain how we got here. When Microsoft first announced Flight Sim 2024, one of the things they were very excited about was that products in 2020 would be forward compatible with 24. There was a little asterisk in there in which they voiced some concern that some products might not be compatible. That asterisk, that's where PMDG lives. Our products are far more complicated than your standard Microsoft Flight Simulator product. And when we brought our 2020 products into 24 for testing, what we found was that they appeared to work most of the time. But the more you use them, the more you would discover that there were functions that simply didn't work. There were visual artifacts, there were sound artifacts, there were functions that didn't work at all. There were functions that would work sometimes and not others. And what that said to us was that we really needed to rebuild these products so that they worked appropriately in Flight Sim 2024. That's not a difficult thing to do. The toolkit for Flight Sim 2024 is far more advanced than the toolkit we had in 2020, and we've got a lot of experience working with both platforms, so we put that to good use. 17 developers, 3 months later, and we have completely refactored our 777 products so that they work in 2024. Now, you could be forgiven for thinking that they're exactly the same, but they're not. It's the same airplane, and it functions and operates the same, and it looks and sounds the same, but they're very, very different. The models in 2024 are built entirely differently. They're textured differently. The product runs differently. The layout and the structure of it within the simulator is different. And as you can probably guess, that means that the livery packs that we build for them are also going to be very different. And that's where the problem comes in. The methods and tools that we use to build livery packs for Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace 2020 don't work quite as well in 2024. And when I say they don't work quite as well, what I mean is that they're different. And when we put marketplace livery pack into 2024, there is no way to relate it to the purchase you already made in 2020. We queried Microsoft on this beginning about 90 days ago, and we were told that some instructions on how to do that were coming. On Monday of this week, we were told that, hey, yeah, we're not going to be able to make that work for you. That functionality doesn't exist in Marketplace 2024 for livery packs built in this particular instance, where we have a 2020 product and then a completely refactored 24 product. Apparently, being able to relate those two in the background, that function doesn't exist. We pushed back on it because if we were just dragging them over without making that conversion, we would be able to do it. So why don't we have that functionality, and how hard would it be to get it working? And what we were told was there's no ETA for that functionality. Now, a lot of you know I worked for a very big global airline for a long time, and in big corporation speak, that sounds an awful lot to me like, yeah, we're not going to be giving you that functionality. I don't know if that's true. That's my concern. So we're continuing to push on that issue. We have a long-standing relationship with our counterparts at Microsoft in the marketplace sphere. They have always been wonderfully helpful to us, but we're pressing on them with both thumbs right now because we think it's very important that we be able to give our Xbox customers the same level of service that our PC customers get. That's a promise we made to you back in 2019, and up to now, we have succeeded in living up to it. And it's kind of frustrating to me that we can't live up to that promise because of something that we have no control over. Sure, we can build livery packs and get them into marketplace by next week if we want to, but that means you're going to have to repurchase them all, and that just kind of feels a little bit unfair to all of us at PMDG. So we are working very hard to convince Microsoft to address this issue in the livery pack sector, and I hope we'll succeed. We've worked with them for a long time, and sometimes it takes a little time to get them to act on the things that we think are important because they've been working on so many other things at the same time. But this is a big issue to us, and we'll continue to push on it for you. If you are an Xbox user, please understand one thing. We had a very robust discussion internally at PMDG over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to decide whether or not we were going to release the 777s on the Xbox platform at all in Microsoft Marketplace 24 because of this issue. At the end of the day, we decided that, yes, we were going to go ahead and release them to you. And we decided that because it's important to us to demonstrate to you that we know you're out there, we know you're a good customer of ours, and we're here to support you. You all have been active users in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 community. We know you're active in the 2024 community as well, and many of you have been reaching out to us to tell us how excited you are that the 777s are coming to 24. So they're here. They're not complete for you guys, but we're working on it. We got your back, and we will keep you informed. All right, so let's talk about a couple of other things going on. As the 777 fleet has been sort of winding down in workload, we've been moving developers off to other projects around PMDG. The main priority project right now is to get the 737NG updated and working in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. If you've watched the whole video up till now, I apologize if this sounds repetitive, but if you skipped to this point, we have to refactor the 737s in order to make them work inside Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So that process has been underway for a while. The 737NG is actually working in 2024 currently in-house in our internal builds. We're also adding in new sound packs. We've added a new cabin. We've finally connected the cockpit and the cabin model so you can open the door and walk through. We know that's been a big issue for a lot of users, and that's finally fixed. That'll probably be our first preview video, just walking through that door just for fun. But there's a huge update to that product coming, and we're going to be giving that to you at a small upgrade price, a couple cups of coffee or something like that. But a lot of developers have been moving into that, which is causing it to increase in development speed. So that's exciting. It's coming to you soon. I'm not making any guesses as to when it's going to release because I'll be wrong, and that just won't be good. That won't work well for any of us. Other developers coming off the 777 have been moving into the 747 hangar. which is exciting because I'm finally not there by myself. But we are working on the 747 Classic, the 100, and the 747-400 first. Eventually, we will build out the entire 747 product line, which is kind of exciting. I'm personally very excited about the SP and the -8, but we'll get there. Right now, we're working on the 100 and the 400, and the 100 has a very advanced model at this point, but the code is lagging a little bit behind. On the 747-400, the code is very advanced, but the model's lagging behind. So we don't really know which one of these two is going to reach market first, but whichever one finishes first, that's the one you'll get. We're not going to sit on one and wait for the other. I promise you that just wouldn't make financial or economic sense. But the 747 is well underway. The Classic just looks magnificent. I can't wait to start showing this to you and letting you see all the things light up and move, because it's just a ton of fun. But we will be starting to preview that a little bit later in the summer, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. The 777-200LR, I probably should have put this at the beginning of the video. Anyway, the 777-200LR, that released a little bit earlier this evening, actually right before I started doing the 6th iteration of this video. And that is available for you now via pmdg.com. We'll be getting that into Marketplace. I expect it'll appear in Marketplace somewhere in the second half of August. That seems to be about when that will appear. But 200LR is available for you. All the liveries are available for you. We hope you'll pick it up. We hope you enjoy it. It's a magnificent airplane. The 200LR is just a monster of aeronautical performance. They put a new wing on that airplane with the GE90-110B engines, and man, I tell you, that airplane can do everything that the 200ER can do, but it can get up to altitude faster with more payload, which gets it into the cruise arena where it can burn less fuel, and it does wonderful things for the range of the airplane. And it's been kind of fun for me because I'm an aircraft performance nerd. It's been sort of fun for me to operate flights with the 200ER and then do the same flight with the 200LR, because you can really see a huge difference in performance between those two. So we hope you like it. It's a great airplane. It's available for you now. In the background, we're also continuing to work on the DC-6. The DC-6 right now is effectively done and ready for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. There's one hitch in that giddy up, and that is that there's a problem with the LOD scaling in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and it's causing some horrible visual artifacting in the DC-6. We don't know why it affects the DC-6 as badly as it does, but we've been told there's a fix coming in SU3, so we're checking every single iteration of the SU3 beta updates that come out to see if that fix is there. It hasn't appeared yet, so we're not quite sure what's going to happen if we see an SU3 beta, or we see an SU3 release and that fix isn't in there, because the DC-6 just doesn't work without that fix. So we'll have more information for you as we get it on that project. A quick update for you on the sound update that's coming for the entire 777 fleet. I mentioned last week we had built build 117, which was the first one that has the new sound engine for the 777 fleet, and we had given that to our beta testers. A little bit later tonight, I'm going to be doing build 118 and giving that to the beta testers, and that's just a further adaptation of it that includes fixes to a bunch of the feedback that we got over the past week. It sounds magnificent. It's not quite ready for you guys. We're still working on it, tweaking and tuning. Right now, we're focused on the 300ER, the F, and the LR. Those are the three that are getting the sound engine update first. The 200ER will get it last because there's 3 engine types there. So there's a bunch of variables that we have to work with to get all of those put together nicely. So that one will take a little bit longer. But the 300ER, the F, and the LR will be the ones to get that first. And we think we're probably a couple of weeks out. Now that I've said that, we're probably not a couple of weeks out, because that just seems to be how my luck runs. But we're working on it. We'll get that to you as soon as we can. All right, that's all I got for you this week. It has been a huge week here at PMDG. I still got a whole bunch of stuff I got to do tonight, so I would love to sit and hang out with you a little bit longer, but I can't, because I can see in the chat window on the side of the screen the team's already starting to ping me with a whole bunch of questions about some other stuff we have going on Friday. We got a lot going on here at PMDG. It's fun to have you around. It's fun to invite you in and be able to fill you in a little bit on some of the things that are happening in the background. I hope you enjoy it. It's been good to share some time with you. Frequency change approved. Get out of here.